going back to the weekend's game, something that sort of crossed my mind in the first half is Mundle and Roberts on the wings were causing all sorts of problems for maybe 20, 25 minutes, half an hour, and then Hull seemed to get a handle on that approach. But there's a situation where you don't seem to, or the players, teams sometimes do this, switch the wings, so Mundle go to the right wing, Roberts go to the left wing, just to give the opposition something different to think about. Is that something you think about, or do you leave this to the players on the pitch to make those decisions?
I thought about it during the game, because during the first half especially, we had the ball control, massive control on the ball, and it was clear that the sides of the pitch were very important to break that final third, and we struggled, but it's not easy to break a low block like that, and we tried many options. The 1v1 situation were not very efficient, but this final part of the build-up phase is still the most difficult, and I think we need time just to adjust our patterns to make it more predictable for us, so it's easier to understand when Patrick or Romain will cross, for example, and in the opposite side to understand when it will be important to be in the box in the right timing. And these patterns are not set at the moment, but we will work on it. It's another part of the game, and maybe that game was specific because they had the ball a lot of times, more than expected probably. And Patrick said after the game it was unusual to have the ball and this 1v1 situation so often, and he struggled a little bit, but it's a new experience, and I think we will improve this part. And it could be an option to switch their position, because when this 1v1 duel is solved by the defender, maybe if you change, you can cause a new problem. It's possible.
In respect to that, I'm thinking, would you like to see more crosses into the box from the wings? Because at the moment Patrick's trying to take the ball into the box, Romain's trying to take the ball into the box. Yeah. If they're on the opposite wings, being naturally Patrick left-footed can cross from the left, and Romain obviously right-footed from the right.
Yeah, and they can cross with the wrong foot because they did it. Patrick did it during the first half, and Romain second for the volley of Régis, remember? Mm-hmm. So it's possible, and we spoke with these three players this morning, and I said, if you want to be able to come inside with your strong foot, you need to create the danger with the opposite foot, because the defender will have these two options to defend, and if it's only your main option with your strong foot, it's easier to defend. First idea, and the second idea, I think we need to finish our actions, and crosses are very important for that.
We touched on Wilson Isidore at the weekend and what he's bringing to the team now. We saw 10-15 minutes of Aaron Connolly, and one thing was fairly clear, he's very, very good at holding the ball up. Does that give you another option when you're thinking in that area?
Yes, absolutely. At the minute, really three, I can say, experienced player, or at least at the level at the minute to be consistent in that championship were available. So with Aaron now we'll have another one, and we'll have youngest players who needs to improve them with few minutes. It's not easy at the minute to play as a starter. Eliza could be possible because he did very well during the first part of the season. And with Aaron, it's another option because we know that Wilson is versatile. He's able to play on the right, on the left side as well. So it will be interesting for us, a new option, because we'll have so many games ahead. So it's good for us, yeah.
You mentioned Eliza. You said there's a possibility he might be available for Luton. Is that?
No, it won't be the case.
And Dan Ballard was the other?
No.
No. Luton, I sort of often ask you, what do you expect of the next opposition? And as often as not, after the game, you say they've done what we didn't expect. So I'm not quite sure what your thoughts of Luton are, because they had a good win at the weekend, but that's probably, there's a sort of caveat to that win. It was a local derby and it was Rob Edwards' former club. So I'm not sure quite how much you draw from that result.
We don't know before the game, but their style is well known and very efficient when it's well played. So I don't think they will change the style of play, because this strength is very interesting, and when it was played, it's difficult to cope with that kind of direct play and second balls, and it's not pejorative, because it's very hard to play like that, and when they play like that, it's very difficult to stop them. So this part of the game will happen, so we'll have to be able to face with that kind of situations, but we need to impose our style of play as well. So if we can keep the ball, if we can dominate the pitch and having a massive control on the ball, I think for them they'll have less options and less weapons, less opportunities to unbalance us. So this is the main objective of that game. Again, do we want to be proactive on the pitch, or just reacting and expecting that they are weak today instead of imposing our style? So it would be our main concern for that game. You're enjoying a lot of new experiences in England in the Championship. Kenilworth Road will be another cultural experience for you. Atmospheric is probably the best way to describe it. Yes, I'm looking forward for that new experience, because I like discovering new stadiums, new style of play, new teams, and how can we solve the problem to win at the end, and to be competitive in that league. The variety of styles are so huge that it's very interesting to change and to evolve, managing some problems, but imposing our way of playing is very important as well. And I think against Hull it was very interesting, especially during the first part of the game. We controlled the game, and during the second part of the game, when they regained the possession, because this was their style of play, we were able to defend and to regain that possession later, and it was very interesting for the personality of the team. So I hope we'll be able to do this at Luton tomorrow. Bonjour.
Régis, you talk about the personality of the team. At the weekend, you spoke about how much more mature you felt the players were. How much have they grown in the short time that you've been here?
It's difficult to say, because just 3 months with them, so the story started before me, and many experiences last season were very useful for that moment. Even it was sometimes bad experiences, and they lost many games in a row, but it's still important to live this kind of experience to grow. So you can't watch the learnings during, because you are still losing, but later this experience is useful. And from the beginning of this season, it's clear that the last season was very important for them to be performant right now. Now the work, all the stuff and the work we are doing with the team is probably very useful to create foundations. But the previous experience was, I think, very important for what we are living now. So.
Because if you win all the time, if you do lose, you don't know how to deal with it. Really, that's, I guess, what the useful side of losing is. You know how to deal with it when it happens.
Yes, if you understand the problems you had during the games. Sometimes it's difficult, because against maybe the first loss, it was that problem. Then the second problem was different, and the third problem again different. When it's always unstable, it's very difficult to catch the problem and to explain to the players, if we solve that part of the game, it will be better. In that case, it's very difficult for the staff and for the players as well. During that season, when we lost, we knew exactly why we lost, and we were always stable in the other part of our game. So it wasn't like a disaster with everything was went wrong. So in that case, it's still easier for a coach, for a team, to understand the small part of the game where we were not strong enough, and then work on it, solve the problems, and let's go for the next game, and it's solved. So against Luton, I think the direct play will be very important. First contact, second contact, second ball, the way we can recycle the ball as well, and how we control the game. But sometimes it's only one decision can change the dynamic of the game. So it's football is like that. Something is sometimes unpredictable, but what we can control, we want to work on it.
Obviously, it's great to be top of the league, but it's very tight there. It's important that the players don't get too carried away with the position in the table.
Yeah, it happened before. We lost, and then we are not top of the league. So it's only 10 games. We know in France we have only 34 games, so it's still the pre-season. Okay, it's like that. We have a full championship to play, so it's too early to project anything. But if we focus on our game, and I think from the beginning of that season, we can assess the improvement of the team. So we still have many elements to develop, and it's our main focus. We'll see later the table and the end of the season.
And how difficult is it to have so many away games, one after the other?
We have to deal with it. For me, it's not a problem. I like playing many games, so new experience. If you lose, you have an opportunity to win again. If you win, you have an opportunity to create a sequence. So we like playing game, and new experiences. It will be a tough game. So when we win, and you know that the second one will be difficult as well, it's better to involve the player in their great focus and great involvement. So it's good for me, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Régis. Obviously, you kind of mentioned after the game on Sunday that you took a lot of confidence from how you saw out the game against Hull. How much confidence did it give you for Wednesday and also the season as a whole?
One of the main goal, especially in the away game, is to dictate the flow of the game instead of suffering from their own style. So it was, I think, the first time when it was clear for us that we managed that part of the game. But it was against Hull with a specific style. Now we'll have another style to face with, and I don't know if we'll be able to play like that. We'll see, but it's the managing of the game. I think it's a very interesting skill for a team in the championship, and if we can develop it and make it stable, it will be very interesting for us.
I just want to touch on Wilson Isidore. He's 3 goals in 4 games now. How happy are you with how he's kind of adapted to the championship and playing for Sunderland?
It's a gift for a coach, for a team, for sure. I'm not surprised really, because I was very confident when we signed him that he was able to play like that. Then we don't know before how he will be integrated in the team, the link he will create with the others. He played in another league, in another country, so he didn't know England before. But his link in the dressing room was immediately great, and it was clear that he could create a good relationship with everybody in the dressing room, and he wants to learn. So he has many qualities. He wants to learn. He's very connected. So the foundations are good.
Yeah. And kind of just you obviously got 3 games in 6 days, including a big couple of trips in that. Is there a temptation to rotate in the next 2, or is it just a case of keeping momentum?
We'll see tomorrow. But it's still we have a core, I think, and the others are very involved. Even if they don't play a lot at the minute, they are very involved and they are very important for the team during the training sessions. And we can feel for the starter that they are around the team and ready to play. So for me, it's an option.